Good guys, my name is Lord Tomo. Welcome again to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collectible review. As you know, I'm Lord Tomo. We have the good old blues here, Sonic the Hedgehog, doing absolutely nothing because he's somewhat the star of the show. Let's put him aside and get into the actual review. Now, this actual item is, I'll show you what it is. It's quite interesting. I found this completely by chance. I wasn't even aware of his existence, and it was one of those items that I just wanted to pick up simply for a couple of reasons. Obviously tied to my collection, but more importantly just to showcase the sort of weird and obscure sort of items that are currently out there in terms from the 90s more or less when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog items, you know, memorabilia and collectibles and all that sort of stuff. As you can probably tell, it's mostly yellow. That's because of the, unfortunately, the bad weathering of sorts, if you can really call it that, or the bad, what's the word for it? It's when it basically, when it's exposed to light for an X amount of time, it makes the actual plastic become yellow. Now, regretfully, after finding this item, I try to find another item of exact same caliber, one outside of box, so I can actually showcase this item in its entirety, just to give it justice. But unfortunately, all my time searching for it came to no avail. So I'll review this item as is, as best you can. This is as near mint condition that I could possibly find it, and found it once off, and yeah. I've bought this off eBay, no surprise, purely by chance, and it was actually sold in Greece, so I got it delivered all the way from Greece here. Cost me a fair bit, but it's definitely a nice item just to look at. So for the most part, I'll tell you, we'll go through the basics of it, you know, the front, the back, and my general thoughts on it in terms of rarity and all that sort of stuff. So essentially, this is going to be called a Sonic the Hedgehog quartz alarm clock. Yeah, that's the best thing I'm probably going to call it. But there's a few key features that I find this extremely interesting, so I'll bring this in as close as possible so I can obviously show you guys. Of course, the actual, you can tell by the casing itself, it's pretty done up, it's pretty damaged. That's the way it came in, and to be honest, I'm not necessarily fussed by it. I'm somewhat bummed that I couldn't get it in better condition, but it is what it is, so we'll see what happens. So you have the very top Sonic the Hedgehog. It plays homage to, of course, the original Sonic the Hedgehog game and its title. Now, what makes this extremely interesting is a few elements. Notable, if for those who've been following Sonic for an X amount of time, is the actual side here, which is the emeralds. These are obviously the Chaos Emeralds, but if you look closely, you have a green, purple, pink, red, green again, and I think that's a blue or another green. It looks like another green to me. Could be blue, but it looks green to me. So you have 3 green emeralds, which I find that a bit off, of course, not very true to obviously the universe of Sonic, but that's what I find pretty interesting, that this is so obscure and so weird in its own right that, you know, you can start pinpointing out the weird stuff out of it. Of course, on the opposite side you have some rings. You have Dr. Robotnik there in his little machine. Now, he looks like that's machines from the Marble Zone, if I'm not mistaken, when he shoots like flames out of the bottom half of, I think it is, when he shoots the flame bats on the flame boulder thingy from the bottom to ignite the little islands, so you have to jump on the other side. So there's that. You have, of course, more rings, and this, I would imagine, is its logo, the quartz alarm. Funny enough, normally you don't see this, but normally you would recommend batteries. Of course, most electronics do these days, but this particular advertises Duracell. It says it's not included, which I find interesting. What I also find this interesting, even though I purchased this in Greece, I hope you guys can see that at the very bottom it says made in Britain. So this actual item was made in the UK. Pretty sure that's where Britain is located. And I find that quite fascinating, because I don't find a lot of items, unless like miscellaneous little things, like most things you see are made in China, Taiwan and that sort of stuff, but this is somewhat unique. This is my 2 cents worth it, that it's actually made in Britain opposed to most other countries, so I quite find that fascinating. Of course, it is your general clock. It's got its 2 stands, and of course, if you look closely, I really wish I could actually take this out so I can show you guys, but the inner collector is, you know, telling me not until I find another one so I can actually show you better. So I'll put this on my reminder list if I can find another one. You have the standard obligatory 1 to 12, of course. You have 3 arms, small arms, big arms, and of course the faster arms. But if you look closely at the art, now this obviously plastic thing is doing it no justice. You have good old Tails holding Sonic the Hedgehog in a pose that I personally have not seen in a long while in terms of merchandising and in terms of the cooperativeness of both Tails and Sonic. You kind of have Sonic coming, kind of lunging out, trying to grab something, and you have Sonic there, which I personally think is well drawn, holding onto his hands, kind of flying away kind of aspect to it. So it's kind of, you know, pretty awesome. My guess is this is more or less released in 1992-ish, my guess. I couldn't find an exact date per se, but that's my general gist. 1992, 1993, I would imagine, thereabouts, more or less when Sonic the Hedgehog 2 came out, when Tails came out. Of course you have the barcode, and that is, so generally the front is exceptionally awesome. I have it on display just like this, in a way, which isn't bad. Over here it's got a price, 2,800, is that yen, maybe? I think, I don't know, I really don't know. Now of course, unfortunately, it is somewhat damaged. It's pretty much, it's mint, it comes in its entirety, it's just, well, damaged. So at the very top, you have, of course, what the components of the back is. Of course, you can change the arms of the clock around here. So if, oh, better careful with this. So if I flip it around, I can actually flip it around and move the arms as well. For the back, you have, of course, other stuff, and that's where you will put the battery in. It doesn't come with the cover, which I find that quite weird. But you also have a little handle here of sorts. I have absolutely no idea what the handle does, to be honest. My guess it's its alarm, possibly. I don't know. You also have obligatory information in different various languages: English, Dutch, Samoa, Slovakia, Norse, blah blah blah. At the very bottom, he has a 1-year guarantee, which, as we all know, this is probably 20 plus years. So expiry date. Now it won't show. It says the guarantee does not affect your statutory rights, blah blah blah, not suitable for children, blah blah blah. Yeah, so London it is. Like, I'll show you here. That's obviously the Quartz trademark, and it says, hope you guys can see that, London, and it's got other obligatory stuff. What does it say? Instructions: insert batteries correctly, gently scratch terminal if necessary, blah blah blah, turn it on, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it just has obligatory information, but that's pretty much the back, which is nothing extravagant. Is that even a word? I think I'm making words up now. Extravagant. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just probably pronouncing it wrong. But yeah, it is what it is. So for the most part, it's slightly damaged. I don't know in terms of rarity if this is super rare, mono rare, or just something that's extremely common. I haven't seen this in a long while. I've only seen it once, and I bought it only once, and I think I got it for about $30, including shipping. A little pricey depending if you're sort of this collector, but I think this is one of those weird, obscure little Sonic collectible items which are unique and maybe rare depending on the collector itself. I just wanted this in my collection just for display purposes. I wanted to hang it initially, but this was somewhat damaged. I'm going to have it on in an interesting display, but it's definitely a piece that I think is pretty awesome. Of course, you have the Buzz Bombers up there. In a way, this is another thing that I just want to clarify. In a way, the whole backing is reflective on the actual image itself. So you have the Buzz Bombers attacking Sonic there. You have Robotnik trying to attack Sonic there. So you're going to have Sonic, if you really want to use your imagination, trying to collect the Chaos Emeralds. So it's kind of a piece within itself. Most packages, the backing is completely different to the actual item itself, whereby in this situation, the backing is part of the actual clock itself. So it gives it an overall interactive sort of look to it, where that's what makes this piece, in my honest opinion, unique. Because it's not so much the item, it's the collectiveness of the actual item itself. And if you can probably tell, there's some Chaos Emeralds, not Chaos Emeralds, there's some rings over there which kind of pulls all the way out into the backing, which I think is awesome. That's one of the things that made me, get captivated by this item in its entirety. Slightly damaged. If I can get a better one, awesome. I can. If I can't, it is what it is. But in rarity, I don't know. I'm really going to give it a ballpark figure of maybe 5 stars out of 10. I can't say it's super rare. I can't say it's super common. I found it. Maybe there's hundreds out there. I don't know. But yeah, 5 stars out of 10. $30. I got it purely by luck on eBay. Just my random searches. I'm like, let's type in. Literally, I typed in Sonic Clock and there we go. I had this. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts on that. If you think this is obscure, this is weird, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't seen it, I don't know. Guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. Please stay tuned, and I hope you guys do Continue to enter my competitions, of course. But anyway, thank you so much for checking out these videos. Let me know your thoughts. Remember, take care and speed on. Peace.